Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, this particular storyline is taking far too long to reach a conclusion, and justice delayed is justice denied, as you all know. So we're speaking of course about the Fatoyinbo Dakolo narrative, and we're going back there. So I am going to be giving you a two-part narrative in this particular video. So some Fatoyinbo mentor has spoken out and Fatoyinbo has reacted. So I shall bring you both the for and against. So with that guys, I bring you this. So first, to what the mentor has to say, why I dumped Pastor Fatoyinbo over alleged incident, and this is attributed to Koza Pastor's ex-spiritual leader. So that's the headline, why I dumped Pastor Fatoyinbo over incident, and this comment is attributed to Koza Pastor's ex-spiritual leader. So now let's find out exactly what is going on here. A former spiritual leader of Pastor Fatoyinbo, founder of Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, Koza, Reverend Emmanuel Osset, has revealed why he ended his relationship with the controversial clergyman. Osset, who is the senior pastor of Canon Ministry in Ilorin, Kwara State, disclosed that he ended his relationship with Fatoyinbo due to allegations of adultery leveled against the Koza pastor by his former church member, Ese Walters, in 2013. He made the revelation whilst reacting to the latest incident against Fatoyinbo by wife of popular singer Timi Dakolo, Bosola Dakolo. Speaking on Arise Television yesterday, Osset disclosed that he became Fatoyinbo's spiritual mentor after the Kosa pastor reached out to him to pray for him, and he became his spiritual father. According to Osset, I had been Fatoyinbo's spiritual mentor for years and have had to wade in when similar allegations were made against him. I investigated and the evidence against him was overwhelming, but at the end he promised that he would change. I had to cut off from him after a member of his church accused him in 2013 of having an extramarital affair. When that incident happened, I called him and told him that I wanted us to talk, but he kept avoiding me for many months. From August 2013 to April 2014, I kept putting pressure on him to come so we could discuss the issue, but he avoided me. So I had to write him a letter telling him that I was no longer interested in being his mentor. So now this is now what this fella is saying about his relationship with Fatoyinbo, because of course we know that these people, they come under the umbrella of somebody when they are coming up, and this is one of the people that he comes under the umbrella of, him alongside that female preacher whose name has escaped me at the moment. So if you remember her name, please put it in the comment section. There's some prominent female preacher who goes around the world asking people for $1,000 for anointment and all that kind of business. You know, the usual Yahoo preacher. She's a well-known name, a lady in her 50s. You must know her. She's light-skinned and rotund. So yes, but this is one of his key mentors, now trying to distance himself from him, because of course he's now seeing the writing on the wall and he's not going to go down with the Fatoyinbo ship, certainly not. But this case, as I said, is taking far too long for it to reach its logical conclusion. So now Biodun of course has reacted to this. So now let's now go to how he is responding to this, and with that we go to his headline. Biodun Fatoyinbo reacts to fresh interviews of his former spiritual mentors standing with Bosola Dakolo. So that's Biodun's headline. Biodun Fatoyinbo reacts to fresh interviews of his former spiritual mentors standing with Bosola Dakolo. So now let's see what Biodun has to say. Biodun Fatoyinbo, embattled senior pastor of Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, Kosa, has reacted to the fresh interviews granted by his former spiritual father, Pastor Emmanuel Osset, and also his one-time spiritual mentor, Pastor Bosola Olotu. In an interview with Adesua, Pastor Busola Olotu said she was aware of the incident between Fatoyinbo and Busola Dakolo, wife of singer Temi Dakolo, and that she believes the story as 3 other women had previously informed her of similar incidents regarding Biodun Fatoyinbo. On his part, Reverend Osset said he was aware of several other incidents involving Fatoyinbo, and he had hoped he would stop such acts. So now this is now the narrative of Fatoyinbo. So now let's see what Biodun has to say. Well, Fatoyinbo has reacted to their comments. In a post he shared on his Instagram page, the clergyman insinuated that both Osset and Olotu are envious and jealous of him. So now let's see exactly what this comedian has to say on his Instagram handle. So let's go to his Instagram handle and see what this joker has to say. So this is his Instagram handle at Biodun Fatoyinbo. So that's what it goes by on Instagram, Biodun Fatoyinbo. So his name together. So this is what he has to say. Do not be bothered if those who you have been a huge blessing to turn against you because of ingratitude, envy, and jealousy. Don't even think about it for a second. Don't let who they are change who you are. This is at PB Biodun Fatoyinbo, and then he goes on to state blah blah blah. So this is now his response now to this now latest thing of the people who are hitherto backing him, now trying to distance themselves from him, because the Busola Dakolo interview was just too powerful for anybody to ignore. And if you saw that interview, which a lot of us did, there's absolutely nothing in it to suggest that this lady is making up the story. Because if you situate this story in its space, this is a lady who is well-known, probably one of the leading Nigerian photographers, married to one of the leading Nigerian musicians, very successful in her own right. Her husband is also extremely successful, a high-profile lady married to a high-profile man, then combining to become a high-profile couple within the Nigerian space. So these are prominent people. These are not just your person off the street. These are prominent people. So this lady is now taking all of that name that she has built for herself and all of that name that her husband has built for himself to come out in the public space to accuse a leading pastor within the Nigerian space of the allegations and the incident that she accused this guy of. It is almost impossible to believe that this is a lie, because what does she stand to gain? What does she stand to gain? Because she gave the whole narrative and the dates match up. She was in Ilorin at the time and this guy was in Ilorin at the time. The relationship is known publicly at that time, and the relationship with Fatoyinbo and that family was known at that time. So all of the elements pretty much, and a good 90% of the elements within this lady's narrative have date stamps. You don't even have to believe or disbelieve her. They have date stamps. The dates there have a stamp on them that is evidenced by it actually being the case. The time and space are stamped in dates. And Fatoyinbo, by the way, is not even denying that he knew this lady at that period and had a relationship with her family. What he is denying is the singularity of that incident. So all of the date stamps match up, but it is the incident that is in question. So then what you then have to ask is, what does this lady stand to gain by coming out in this very public interview to state what she stated? There's really very little that she stands to gain, because her name will be subjected to ridicule as it has been, and her husband's name will be subjected to ridicule as it has been. You know, the Nigerian society now, they will look at them and say, hey, yeah, and they will become become the object of pity and people will be pointing at them. This is all of the things that she has subjected herself and her family, her husband, etc., and her children too, because the children, of course, will be teased at school as well. So this is all of the things that she has subjected her space to in order to come out to put this guy on the spot. So I cannot think that she would tell a lie to sacrifice all of that and bring all of that pressure on herself and her family and all of that public scrutiny and potential ridicule just so to come out and tell this big a lie. So it is definitely almost certainly not a lie. And also because of the antecedents of this Fatoyinbo character, this fella that claims to be a pastor but in fact is just a con man, as we all know, the antecedents of this guy, this Busola Dakolo, of course, is not the first person to have come out to state something like this about this guy. This is something that repeats and repeats, and there are countless allegations being leveled against this. We had that Walters lady who stopped short of going as far as Busola has done, and we've got other names also in the lower rankings of public space that have also made these allegations against this guy as well. So you say, of course, a prominent person will always have allegations against them, but then of course you look at the characters involved and then you then look to your own mind to make a judgment. Who is more believable and who stands to gain what and to lose what in this whole equation? Because for me, Busola Dakolo stands to lose a lot for coming out to state this, but she has overlooked that and taken on the bravery to come out in the public space in this way. So kudos to her, at least for me personally, for that. But how are you rating her? Conversations in the comment section is what I am inviting. We are revisiting the Fatoyinbo Dakolo situation again, a never-ending story, and I for one would love to see this fella doing some kiri time. What says you? But before you come share your thoughts with me in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of this goings on in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in comment, but here I say peace.